he might have to break out the Walker shimmy.
It's on the way. No good. Off the heel.
Oh, that was Doris Burke predicting a little Walker shimmy. And look who's joining us now, Mr. Shimmy himself, Antoine Walker. Do it off a little bit, buddy. Give me a little something. Go on.
Come on, man. You got to hit it one time.
We've got two groundbreakers on the show. The inventor of the shimmy, Antoine Walker, and the inventor of the jersey swap, Brandon Marshall. How about that?
Brandon Marshall.
Big
show.
I mean, you see them both across all sports now. It's a big deal.
Big show for us today. Yeah. All right, let's stay with this game and talk about Antoine. We'll give you a chance to shimmy in just a little bit. Celtics-Raptors, Game 2. Wilds, what time is it now, my friend?
Game time.
It's not. It's Tatum time. Jayson Tatum leading all scorers in this one with 34. Wilds needs a new watch. Marcus Smart had 16 of his 19 in the fourth quarter. Celtics take a commanding, can we say it, 2-0 lead over the defending champion Raptors. Yeah. All right, Antoine, Nick gave the Celtics no chance for them to win the title. But after what you've seen so far in round 2, do you think the Celtics have, let's call it a legitimate chance to go on a title run now?
Well, I'm about to be honest. I had the Raptors winning this series too. And I'm in shock. I thought the Raptors, with their size, with the guys they had last year, and then the Celtics just had a lot of question marks. I think when you think about Kemba Walker not being, we didn't think he was going to be healthy, then Gordon Hayward being out. So I just thought the Raptors were going to have a better chance in this series. But yes, I believe they can make a title run. When you look at the teams that's left right now, and I know it's very early with Milwaukee and Miami, they match up well with them. And they got good chemistry right now. I like where they're playing at right now. I'm not saying that they don't need Gordon Hayward, but you got two wings that are playing incredible. Kemba Walker seems to be healthy. And then Jayson Tatum, you got a closer. You got a guy who can finish games for you. And that's a huge part. A guy that's very confident. He's playing just like he left off before the pandemic. This is what we were talking about before the pandemic, the stoppage in basketball. He was on a run. He was becoming a star. And he's continuing through the bubble.
So I do think it's important, for a point of order to the audience, notorious Celtics hater Antoine Walker picked the Raptors to beat him, while lifelong Celtics supporter Nick Wright picked the Celtics to beat the Raptors. But it is true, I said a couple things about them. One was that going into the year, I thought their defense was going to be abysmal. Kemba up front, in a scanner on the back end. I thought losing Al Horford. I was clearly, obviously, and egregiously wrong about that. This is an excellent defensive team. It's a great coach team, and Tatum is making that star turn. Now, can they go on a title run? Here's the problem, Brandon. There's two teams in the league I think they can't beat in a best of 7. The Lakers and the Bucks. Now, the Bucks might not be there. So can the Celtics make the finals? If the Heat beat the Bucks, sure. The Celtics absolutely can win this series. Series not over, but they can win this series. And they definitely can beat Miami. I don't think they match up well with Milwaukee, so I wouldn't like their chances against Milwaukee in a 7-game series if Milwaukee gets through Miami. But waiting on the other side of the bracket is going to be the Lakers. And so I don't think they can win a championship. I don't give them much of any chance to win a championship, but they don't have to win a championship for this to be a massively successful season. After you add the enormous disappointment of the Kyrie experiment, the following year, if you go deeper in the postseason, if you win the conference, which is, it can't be dismissed, and if Jayson Tatum continues on this type of trajectory, Celtic fans, even though it won't end in a ring, would be, I would think, incredibly happy about their year, and I would imagine send me a lot of very, very gratuitous mean tweets.
Yeah, we need to get Cantor back on this show. 100%. You didn't believe in Cantor. You didn't believe he can play defense. He showed you.
That's true.
Hey, Walk, listen, I'm a football guy, right? I spent 13 years in the NFL. But I just came on the show December 3rd, and you can say it was an audition to get this seat. And the first thing I said was the Celtics will compete for a championship. So I guess I need to move from NFL expert to maybe NBA expert. 100%. And Walk, like, I'll let you guys talk about the basketball stuff, but for me, Nick, you already said it. There's a few things that jump out to why this team is so good. Number one, it starts with coaching. Number two, it starts with they have a few star players that could potentially move into superstar, in that superstar role. And then the last thing, they play defense. There's only like 3 or 4 teams in the NBA that really plays true defense night in and night out, and they're one of them. But let's slow down a little bit. Let's talk about Marcus Smart. Walk, help me with this one, because I played a little hoops growing up, and I used to go into the YMCA. And there was always that guy with the short shorts and the old school Converse shoes, and we're like, yo, he's self-check. Let him shoot the ball. Like, where did this come from? Marcus Smart, to me, is that guy you say, he's self-check. He's wide open. Nobody needs to guard this guy. And he just keeps knocking down 3 after 3 after 3. Help me with this guy. Help me understand this.
Well, I think when you look at a guy like Marcus Smart, he's dedicated himself to get into the gym. He knew what his weakness was, and if he wanted to play more minutes and not just be known as a defensive guy, you got to be able to shoot the basketball. And he's made himself into a decent three-point shooter. Do I believe he's going to make 5 threes in the quarter? No. He definitely won't make 6 and break my record. But I do believe he can. He's very capable three-point shooter. I do believe he's very capable. He's definitely a very capable three-point shooter. Last night, I don't think you're going to see that, like last night where he makes 5 or 6. But you got to give him a lot of credit. That's a credit to him and him dedicating himself to the gym, because he's made himself not only just one of the top defensive players, he's made himself a very capable three-point shooter. And it's a lot of guys. It kind of reminds me of Bruce Bowen. Remember when Bruce Bowen couldn't shoot early in his career, but then he really made himself a really knockdown three-point shooter in the corner. That's what he's starting to remind me of. He's probably even better offensively than Bruce because he can handle the basketball. But you got to give him credit. He put the work in to get himself into being a decent three-point shooter.
Go ahead, Wilds.
Antoine, we're going to edit out the part where you said you picked the Raptors and remake that so you picked the Celtics since you have so much Celtics gear in the background. It's totally fine for you to just pick the Celtics blindly out of loyalty. You don't need to just go through the numbers and everything. And Nick, I think it's far too early to start printing up the championship banners. But if I was the Celtics, I would call up the banner guy, Brian from Cambridge, and be like, hey, what's your availability? Do you have enough green thread available? Do you got some big white letters? They starting to look really good. We know the way to beat the other teams, right? We just saw the Heat just handle Giannis, and the Bucks are like, we don't know what to do. Celtics look like a real team last night. We know that they're the only team with 3 guys who score 20 points a game. We got Jalen, we got Tatum's ascending, we got Kemba, who struggled yesterday and still hit you with the UConn step back. And even if you stop all of them, what happens? Marcus out there doing his Antoine Walker impression. And I know people are saying like, that's an aberration. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the healing ankle of Gordon Hayward. So, Nick, I wouldn't start sewing yet, but I would put in a big order for a lot of green thread.
Listen, this Celtics team's a better team than I gave them credit for at the beginning of the year. So I picked them to go to the conference finals. I don't, though, think we should, Jenna, one small point. I don't think we should count the champs out just yet. Not only because it's only 2-0, but also, and just hold on though. Here's the thing. What did we just see?
Yeah?
We just saw a team come back from 3-1 down. Why did that happen? Was it part of it that you didn't have to win any road elimination games? We saw the Thunder look dead in the water, blown out in the first 2 games of that series. They've got a Game 7 tonight. I do wonder if in this bubble...